So today I am doing the book to movie comparison of The Host. Yes, now The Host was one of the best books I've ever read. It was a complete 5 star for me, perhaps one of the best books I've even read this year, or ever. It was definitely in my top 20 books. It was phenomenal. I loved it. I loved the message that it gave. I loved the story. And it was a sci-fi which I don't really do that much of, so it was quite different for me as well, and I really enjoyed it. So when I found out there was a movie, I wanted to do the comparison eventually, and here I am. So, as usual, standard format, 2 similarities of the book to the movie, 2 differences, book to movie, and then 2 things the book did better, 2 things the movie did better, and then my overall rating for each of them. So, talking about the first similarity, and that is the strong relationship between the characters was phenomenal. It really was. The strong relationship between Wanderer and every other character, and especially that Jeremy brother sister relationship. Oh, it was great. And the strong relationship between Ian and Jared and all those characters, excellent, absolutely amazing. You couldn't beat it. And it was similar in the book and the movie. Yeah, amazing. Now, the next similarity is the world that it was in. Now, it's a world that's been taken over by aliens, but it was still Earth, so really it should have been just normal looking, and it was. And then they go into the underground world and see everyone there, and that underground world was built exactly how I imagined it. There's maybe 1 or 2 differences, but everything else was pretty much exact to how it was done in the book and how I envisioned it. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Couldn't fault it, couldn't beat it. Amazing. Now, on to the differences, because really that's what people like. They like hearing me complain. I hope, because I complain a lot. Yes. Now, on to the differences, and it was something that I think worked so well in the movie, and I didn't really consider it in the book, but then when I saw it in the movie, I was like, oh, you are correct. And that is that the Seeker has more of an active role in the movie, and it's really good. You get to see her a lot more. You get to see her turn from being a natural, normal Seeker doing the job, finding people, and you get to see her slowly get angrier and go on more of a hunt, and you just got to see so much more of her character, and it was amazing that you got to see that. And that, oh yeah, it was great. You got to see her develop so much, and actually it made her more likable for me. It made her relatable. She wasn't just this annoying evil person chasing them down. There was an extra bit of depth to her there, and I really loved that. So that was amazing. Now, the second difference, and again it was something that I absolutely loved, it's something that I criticised a lot in the book. Melanie loved Jared, but in the book she was very obsessed. She was an obsessive freak, and it annoyed me, and it made me really hate Melanie, and I really hated Jared, and I just didn't like the romance in the book between the 2 of them. It really angered me. I hated it. And in the book, she becomes so obsessed that eventually you just want to scream at her for, she has a brother as well there, and she never really seems to talk about him. It's only Jared, Jared, Jared. And in the movie, she loves him. She loves Jared. You know that it comes up. Some similarities between the movie and the book come in, but there is no clear obsession with Jared. Like in the book, Melanie is obsessed. In the movie, she's not. She loves him. She wants him, but it's not as evident exactly how she feels, and it worked so much better. It made the characters much more likable. It was perfect. That small difference of obsession and love was excellent. Like, the insta-love thing was perhaps still there, but in the book you kind of believed it because it wasn't love. It was kind of more relatable of, you're the only person I've seen for ages, I need you. It worked. It worked so well. So, all for the book. Now, 2 things that the book did better The first thing is the thing that I ranted so much about in my reviews and in the vlogs and everything. The societal message in the story. The message about how we as humans have destroyed our planet. We hate each other so much. We've become so evil and so disillusioned, and we've become so evil and hating, and we have wars and starve our own people. It really made me think in the book. It made me sit there and think, wow, where are we heading as a species when we don't care about other people in our species? We just care for ourselves. And it was mentioned briefly in the movie, but I just don't think the movie could have portrayed that better than the book. I don't think they could, because they had to stick to the natural storyline and talking about the society and how humans were there and why we took over. That's more of the extra depth layer that the book will always go into that the movie can't. And I don't blame the movie for not putting it in there, but for me, that is what gave this book a 5-star review for me. So losing that, it was quite sad, to be honest. But, you know, like I said, I understand it. It's just a shame that they had to do it. The second thing that the book did better was that when in the underground cave, people don't trust Wanda because she's an alien. Like, why would they naturally trust her? They wouldn't. And she starts working. She starts trying to earn their respect and earn their trust, and then eventually they come to trust her and care about her, and then they become friends. And in the movie, that doesn't happen. Really, they look at her, they don't trust her, and then she starts working, and then within 5 minutes of her starting working, they're all best friends. Like, yay, Wanda now. And that doesn't work. It was kind of instantaneous. The respect had been earned just because she decided she wanted to work. And yeah, that really didn't work for me. So never mind, really. It was just a shame that was missing. Didn't really take anything away. It was just, having read the book, you got to see Wanda struggle so much more of actually trusting and earning their trust, and, you know, all of that dynamic that was missing. And it was really difficult to experience and see how hard she was having it. And then in the film, it just wasn't there. So it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, it was just a shame. Now, 2 things that I think the movie did better. And the first thing I absolutely loved. I thought it was amazing because it was the one thing in the book that I really struggled with, and it was the visual representation of the alien. I could not picture what the aliens looked like. I got told it was like a weird glowing worm thing, and I was like, okay. And I couldn't imagine it. It was just like a creepy centipede in my head, and everyone kept saying, oh, it's so beautiful. And I was like, it looks like a creepy centipede to me. So I was really struggling. And then the visual representation that the movie gave, oh, it was beautiful. It was lovely. It was nothing like a worm, but it was lovely. And I really liked it. I saw why everyone said it was beautiful. And the movie just did so well with that, because they got this little weird creature and they got it out so well, and they portrayed it so well. They portrayed it going into the body and coming out of the body so well. They portrayed how it moved, so it was amazing. And I think that was so good, because that is the only thing I really, really struggled with in the book. So, well done, movie. Now, the last thing that I think the movie did better. My main criticism of the book. Melanie and Jared were not likable people. They weren't. I hated them. I hated Jared. He was just grumpy and vicious and horrible all the time. And then Melanie was just Jared obsessed. She was just, oh, Jared, I love Jared. I want Jared. And I got angry. It was very frustrating to see. I hated it. Now, in the movie, they were actually likable. I mean, I didn't really like Jared. He's still a bit of a tosser. But you could see, like, the actor did really well, because you could see the emotion, the hurt, the fear. You could see all of that in his eyes. Whereas in the book, all you could see was Jared hating on the alien, and Jared was being a bit of a toss. But in the movie, the actor portrayed it so well, you still saw him, you still thought, oh, okay, don't be rude. But you could see the emotion in his eyes. You could see that when he hit her, he wasn't angry, he was scared, and you got to see so much more to him. There was much more depth, much more portrayed depth. You didn't just think, well, I naturally have to love you because you're the hero. Like, you actually got to care about this guy. And I personally still thought, they're all right, they're okay characters. I don't love them now, but they are a hell of a lot better than in the book. And as I already mentioned with Melanie, she became such a more likable person because she wasn't as rude. And when she was rude, it was quite sassy, and I like that. But she wasn't Jared obsessed. She actually cared about Jamie. She cared about Wanderers. She cared and spoke normally. It wasn't just Jared, Jared, Jared all the time. And it worked so well. And I liked it. I love that they changed that up a little bit because it really made the characters likable. So props to the actors and actresses in that movie for actually making the characters likable, because I honestly went in thinking I was going to hate you. So, well done. Now, it is time for my overall ratings, and honestly, I struggled with this. Not so much with the book. The book I knew was phenomenal. I don't think it was perfect, just because I think liking the characters is very difficult. Like the two main Jared and Melanie, liking them wasn't the easiest thing to do. So, kind of just a tiny couple of issues, like the insta love that I didn't like, it dropped my rating overall down to a 9. Yes, 9 out of 10. And I thought it was great. It was just the insta love thing, the Jared and Melanie thing. It just kind of dropped it down a little bit. In the movie, again, I liked it a lot more. I thought it was great. So I was thinking roughly around 9 or 10 for that, because I thought it was excellent. But the one thing that I was thinking about afterwards, and it really stuck with me, is the lack of the societal message. And that message is the thing that made it perfect for me, the book. That message of that, it was just what they said. The only reason we noticed she was taking over because nothing bad happened. And it just made me sit and think, like, wow, that's who we are. We only notice when something bad happens. And it hurt. It actually hurt me and made me sit and think, wow, where are we going? And that was missing from the film, so it was very difficult and very different. So that did lose points, because that wasn't in there. I enjoyed it slightly less than I would have done. I think overall, as a movie without reading the book, it stands up very well, so it deserves such a high mark. And it was near enough level pegging, but I think I had to give it to the book because that message was in there. So I gave the movie an 8.5. I gave it an 8.5 because it was literally neck and neck. It was just that message was missing, and I needed that message. I needed it because that is what changed me. That is what made that book perfect in my eyes. That small little message of where we're going as humans, and that was very rarely mentioned. I think it was mentioned once by the Seeker, and that was it. So overall, that is where we're at. Book wins, so it is now 2-1. So book will win, going ahead with Peter Pan into the book category, and then The Goldfinch stands alone in the movie category. So that was extremely close. Literally anybody could have won that. If it had not been for that last final message, it could have gone either way. So, do you have any more recommendations for book to movie comparisons that you want to see? Because really, I'm actually quite struggling now. I'm struggling to think. So, if you have any in particular you want to see, please let me know, because I absolutely love doing this. I love doing the book to movie comparison and making it into the little competition of who's going to win. I absolutely love it. Plus, if you recommend things, it means I have to read the book and then watch the movie, and that is something I absolutely love. So please, please, please do that. Other than that, I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So until next time, I will see you then. Bye.